Hi, I'm making a YouTube channel. I'm a communist, basically. I'm Alexa. I am a communist. So a lot of people hear that and think terrible things about communism, which are wrong. And I think, of course, that they're wrong. So right now, I'm going to use this video as an introduction to the channel and just something first to put out there. So I have some sort of idea of what people are thinking about this, and hopefully I get comments, and hopefully this does something. So I want to explain what communism is in this video, the basics of communism. So the premise is Karl Marx, who invented not capitalism, Karl Marx, who invented communism, the idea of communism. He wrote the Comunist manifesto. He thinks all of history can be viewed as a struggle of the working class versus the ultra wealthy, whether that's lords, kings, whether that's slaves, or the random workers. He thinks that all of history has been a struggle between the working class and the ruling class. So basically, there's two. There's the feudal system, which is peasant, slaves, and all that stuff, and there's many classes there. So Marx thinks it has changed now to a different form, and he thinks there's two classes: the proletariat and the bourgeoisie. He thinks that so the proletariat is the working class, and the bourgeois are the ruling class under these things. So he thinks those are the two classes. So basically, the idea is instead of the value they produce. So basically, workers create the value for the company in a typical job. But instead of seeing the benefits of that necessarily, I mean, technically you could promote someone, but it doesn't work like that at all. But so he thinks that right now the ruling class, the bourgeois, business owners, landlords, have the means of production, which is control over where that capital, money, resources goes. And right now, he thinks that it goes all up to shareholders, up to CEOs. It moves up and stays there, which harms not the ruling class, the working class. He thinks that harms the working class because so much money is going up instead. So he thinks that workers should get the value they produce for the company or for whatever. So because workers are the ones who create all the profit. Shareholders don't. They don't do anything but invest. They do a little more than that, but simply they invest. So they just see the profits just by investing. So you need already to have money to make more money in this case. So only those who have capital, resources, money, can be on top of society. And the working class, those who don't already have money, it is extremely difficult for them to become that class. And capitalists think that you should strive to be the upper class. But communists do not think that's true. They believe that the world should be fair. And so they think workers should get the means of production, which right now Marx thinks is in the hands of the ultra wealthy. And he wants the means of production, which is basically the power to control where that capital goes, where the value goes from what you make, what the physical value that you make for a company, for example, they think it should come back to you. If you work so well, so hard that you do the job of 5 people in a capitalist society, they'll just lay off 4 other people, and you would still have to do that hard job. In communism, they don't think that is. They think that's ridiculous because that causes jobs to be scarce and homelessness. One of many causes. So basically, that's the idea of communism. Not evil at the premise, at very least. You have to admit that's, if anyone who doesn't believe this, it cannot be a communist. That's just not how that works. So if you think that this is wrong, this is in the Communist Manifesto. So I would love to hear any responses, any criticism of communism. I know there's plenty out there, and I'd love to respond to them, and in a completely respectful way. The communists believe you are also on the same side. They are fighting for you, the worker, which is 99.99999% of people watching. So basically that's the idea. So I'd love to see responses. Bye.